Chameleons. Does anybody know what a chameleon is? What's a chameleon?
It changes colors.
Right, they change colors. Now the funny thing about chameleons is that they're actually not like the cartoons. They're not just going to change color to match their environment. They're going to get darker or lighter based on temperature or mood. But they don't really just change just because they're on, like, you know, a piece of purple paper or anything like that. So what I'm going to take out here, this is a Jackson's chameleon.
Wow.
And this one's a boy, you can see, because he's got horns. Can everybody see him?
Yeah.
Can you see where it's going? Squeeze up over there by her, and she'll show you.
Now these guys are from Africa. Do we know Africa yet? Countries?
Yeah.
Do you guys know where Africa is?
Do we know where? Yeah? Exactly. Africa's where all the elephants are. These are from the same place as all the elephants. So, the funny thing about chameleons is that they're not very scary, and they know they're not very scary, so they live their whole lives hoping that you're never going to see them. They change colors like this, and they're all green like this, so that hopefully you don't see them blending in with all of the green and trees and leaves and everything that they live in. Does anybody know what it's called when an animal blends in like that? What do you think?
Camouflage.
Exactly, they camouflage with their environment. So these little guys here will get lighter or darker to try and camouflage in with the leaves they're on, but they're always going to be a kind of green color. They're really, really sensitive. This guy in particular has been here a little while, so he's more used to us, but most of the time chameleons are never really going to be a pet that you hold. You only ever just look at him. See, he's running right back in there. So he's actually pretty close to full size. They get a little bit bigger than that, but not a whole bunch. There's a bunch of different kinds of chameleons that are over here. Let's see, who else will we take out today? And over here, has anybody seen the movie Madagascar?
Yeah.
This chameleon is from the same place as that movie. This is a Panther Chameleon. Come here, buddy. With lots of foliage in his cage. He's all angry. So these guys are from Madagascar, just like the movie. And this one's just a little baby. It's going to get this big, like as big as my hand.
Wow.
So now you see how she's getting all dark? That's because she's mad at me for taking her out of her home. They'll turn all dark. They'll get big stripes on them, big white spots. And again, she's turning this color because she actually really doesn't want to be handled. So we're not going to pet her. We're not going to touch her. I'm just going to show you. But you can already see how quickly she's changing color. And again, that's what chameleons do. They're trying to tell you to go away. So we'll put her back. Let her go back in. Feel better. But you can see. Did everybody see her changing color?
Yeah. That's
Perfect.
awesome.
I agree. All right. So now over here, is anybody here scared of spiders?
Yeah. My dad is.
Your dad is?
My dad is. My mom is.
This is much more normal. This is a rose hair tarantula. Now the thing about tarantulas is that they live in the ground. They live in burrows. These kind live in burrows anyway. There's some that live in the trees, but lucky for us, all the ones that live in the trees live on the other side of the world, so we don't have to worry about those here. These ones are actually not that venomous, although all tarantulas are still venomous. So their teeth, their little fangs, they are always going to have some kind of poison. The cool thing though is that it's really not that bad. It's not going to make you that sick. It's just going to hurt worse to have the fangs get in your skin, understandably, than for these guys to actually try and put poison in you. Does anybody know what the difference is between poison and venom? This is a fun one. Can anybody guess? The difference between poison and venom is that poison gets injected, or sorry, I mixed that up. Venom gets injected, poison you have to eat or absorb. So poison is anything you're going to eat, and venom's anything that the animal's going to get you with. So that means that all the animals that bite you, they're venomous, and any animals you eat that make you sick are poisonous. There we go. Everybody see the tarantula?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys saw it too? We'll go ahead and put him back. Me too. All right. And so now what we'll do is we'll go over here.
Okay, everybody give her some.
And let's see what else we got. This is a baby monitor.
Back up, Martha.
Does anybody know what a monitor lizard is?
Okay, she's gonna listen. I'm gonna stand up. Everybody, she's gonna let everybody see before she puts it away. Give her some
so
space,
everybody
okay?
can see.
What do you think what it is?
Back up a little bit. Okay. Back up a little bit.
Right there.
It's like a Komodo dragon. Do you guys know what Komodos are?
No.
No? Those giant lizards that walk around in the islands. They eat people.
My dad holded one of them.
A Komodo dragon? Your dad's pretty cool.
What about a snake?
That's what we're going to take on next. Oh, girls, no screaming. It's really quiet over here. There we go.
That's my brother's snake. That's your snake, Marco.
Oh, that's how little Marco's snake was.
So this is another little baby animal. This is a baby snake. This is a ball python.
Whoa.
Everybody see him? Gotta wait. Back up one step, guys. Gotta give them space. You can't be scared, because if you're scared, you'll scare them. And then they jump and they get scared, and just nobody wants that to happen.
I had a snake crawling on my arm.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So this is a little baby ball python. These guys are from Africa, just like the chameleons. Remember the place with all the elephants and stuff. These guys eat mice. So they're actually, when you find them in your yard, you're not going to find these in your yard. These are from Africa. But the ones that you do find in your yard eat all the mice and stuff. So they're good to have around. They're always going to be helpful. They're not going to hurt you. They get more scared of you than you are of them. Anybody want to pet them?
I have Simeon.
What is
so soft.
The nice thing about ball pythons is that these guys actually, what they'll do, the reason they're called ball pythons is that when they get really scared, they'll curl up in a ball and hide their head in the middle. So that way you guys can't hurt them. Or predators can't hurt them, anything like that. You want to pet her too?
Why is it? That's yellow one.
Yeah.
Why is it so small and then it gets bigger?
Because that's just the shape it is. Why do you have shoulders? The same reason.
It shades to carry your arm.
Yep, they do shed their skin. These guys aren't shedding right now though. So we'll go ahead and put this one back. And next we'll look at it. Does anybody have any questions so far? What's your question?
When I was a baby, I used to have 2 geckos.
Yeah? What's your question?
Our neighbor Kyle has a gecko. He has 2.
Oh, okay.
I think one is black and one is green.
What's your question?
What's a gecko?
A gecko is a type of lizard. Some of them, complicated question. Pretty much a gecko is any kind of lizard that doesn't have actual scales. It's an easy way to know a gecko from a lizard. A little bit more complicated than that. That's an easy one. There you guys are. So, in here, so as you can see, they like to hide in rocks and crevices. Back up, back up. Don't push each other. There you go. What was your question?
My cousin, he had 4 geckos.
Yeah? That's cool. So these guys are leopard geckos. These ones have mutations or genetic mutations that make them different colors. So this one is going to be striped in black and white, while this one is almost no color at all. You see?
Why is it so big?
Because they have a tail like that, so that they... Watch out. Let's get that over there. Okay.
Tail.
Nope, didn't want to do that at all. So their tails are all nice and big like that, so when a predator comes to try and eat them, the predator eats their tail instead of their head. The head is much more important. That's what your brain is. So naturally you're going to want to lose a tail instead of the important stuff. So they've got that there, and what happens is when they get bitten like that, their tail regrows. So you end up with a funky looking tail like that one. It still does kind of look like her head, but it's not exactly the same. So you can always kind of tell when a gecko's had a fight with another gecko or somebody had an accident and the tail had to regrow. This guy has his full original tail. So he's just, this is exactly how it's supposed to look. That one there had a little, she must have had a fight when she was a baby and it just grew back. Anybody want to pet him?
He's so bumpy.
Yeah. These are, and that's one of the cool things about leopard geckos is that they've got this soft skin with all the bumps on it. Does anybody want to guess where these are from? What do you think?
I think they're from India.
Yeah, actually, good job. Nobody ever guessed that. They're from India, Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan, that whole area up there. So they actually do, what they'll do in the wild is they're from a desert area, but they hide in little crevices and it gets a lot more humid. So while they are from the desert, they like having hiding holes like that to go get wet in. What's your question?
What are these over here?
Those holes in his head? Those are his ears. Just like you. He got holes in his head for ears, except he doesn't get these to help him hear things. So his hearing is a little bit different than ours. Maybe he thinks your ears look weird.
And he stuck his tongue in your arm.
He did. These guys smell just like snakes and lizards do. They stick their tongue out and they taste the air and put it back in their mouth to see what's going on. Yeah. They're always smelling.
No screaming, okay, girls?
Michaela, back up. Michaela, back up, please. Alright, so this is a baby boa. And these guys are from South America. Does anybody know what the difference is between a python and a boa?
Because they almost have the same stripe.
Nope. They're different. Why would they be different? What do you think? The big difference is actually that boas have live birth, they have live babies, while pythons lay eggs. So these guys give birth like us, live birth, and then pythons lay eggs like a chicken. So these guys get nice and big and they have lots of little babies that come out ready to go. So this is an Argentine boa, which anybody can guess is from Argentina, down in South America. This guy will get 10 feet long. That's all of you stretched side by side. That's how big this snake will get. But even these guys start out as little bitty babies. They're not so bad. There we go. So that's a boa. So this is something exciting that you don't see every day. This is a baby Rankin's dragon. This is from Australia. These guys don't get very big at all. This one is already halfway grown. He'll only get a little bit bigger than this. He'll get close. So these guys in the wild eat lots and lots of bugs. They'll eat greens and vegetables. They like to get nice and hot. This is what Australia gets instead of blue belly lizards. Who's been seeing blue belly lizards in your yard? Has ever catch the little fence lizards?
I've been seeing those. I've seen those.
Yeah? So this guy is what Australia gets for fence lizards. That's not fair, is it? They got little blue bellies, they got these. Anybody want to pet them? One finger at a time. There you go. These guys are all rough so they don't get eaten by predators. They'll puff up and stick the little spikes on their side out to try and make themselves look as big as possible so the predators don't eat them. Everybody get to pet them? Nice. Anybody have questions? Yeah, they can jump. These guys don't usually jump as much as the baby lizards, the baby monitors do.
How far do they jump?
They can't jump very far. It's more of a down jump than a far jump. Like a fall, a graceful fall. Nope, these guys are hiding under their water bowl. This is a type of boa that likes to burrow underneath stuff, including their bedding, so they'll go hide under their water bowl. These are a lot more of those geckos that you were holding. Yep, see these guys stick into the glass?
Yeah.
These guys were actually, everybody thought they were extinct up until the 90s, and then somebody found them again. And they were so easy to breed that we now have thousands in the U.S. Can anybody guess what kind of snake this is? Let's see, who has the answer? What do you think? No? You guys are all going to scream as soon as I tell you. What do you think? It's a baby snake.
No, I was snakes are boas.
It's related to boas. What do you think?
Is it a type of type of what?
It's a green anaconda.
Oh, it's not that.
These guys get to be the fattest snakes in the world. But he's not a snake. He is a legless lizard.
Whoa, that's creepy.
Now the big difference between him and a snake is that one, he has eyelids, so he can actually blink. You see him closing his eyes? Snakes can't do that. They just have a scale over their eyes to protect them. This guy can actually blink. And in addition to that, his tongue, he'll actually just stick out his tongue. He's just got one solid tongue. Snakes have a split tongue. And then the last bit is that this is how long his body is. So he's just a lizard with no legs. A snake's whole body goes from his neck all the way down to the tip of his tail. A snake is a big long body, tiny little tail. A legless lizard is a short body, long tail. Oh, Diddy, I'm sorry. He's big. So that's so he can breathe. He eats anything. He'll eat greens, he'll eat vegetables, he'll eat canned food. I've even seen people give him cat food. They don't really care what it is. They'll eat all of it. Crickets, mealworms. Here we give them mostly crickets and mealworms and vegetables. But some people at home, there's a lot of different stuff you can give them. They eat a lot of different things. And the funny thing about this guy, he's actually from Russia. This is what Russia gets for their lizards. Wouldn't that be weird if you found him in your yard? Here you go, buddy. Hold it in. Well, anybody want to pet him? He's not really good.
No,
Not bad. No, really big. Do you feel weird, huh?
Show everybody. It's okay.
There we go.
Yeah, look.
Are you okay? Why don't you come over here and get on your knees and then you can see better.
that's cute. It looks like a turtle.
These
It's a
are
turtle.
called tortoises. These are Russian tortoises, so they're friends with that lizard we were just holding. They talk. They call each other on the
No,
phone.
that's okay,
Talk in
Sarah.
Russian.
These
guys-
they kind of walk
Don't
fast.
get scared.
Hey, they go.
It's okay. They don't bite, sweetheart.
Tortoises, they move kind of fast, but they're not that quick. Yeah.
He's coming. Can they bite you?
Just them.
No, they don't.
They don't bite.
I
They
want
don't
a
bite.
turtle.
Those are cute.
Only some animals have teeth.
My cousin has a tortoise that has snakes on its shell.
Yeah?
But they're not snakes.
And she's only 2 and her birthday's on Monday.
Oh, that's neat.
And I'm looking at
So these guys-
hold it.
His little tail.
These guys only eat vegetables.
How
That's a
many
bigger
are
one.
there?
They only eat leafy
Well,
greens,
not big.
like this stuff here. That's what they were eating off. They've all got
How
calcium on their
many are
fins.
there?
We've got a few.
Why is that one not tucking his head?
She's hiding. This is a big old girl.
Move back a little
And
bit.
then
I want to have
Back a
big
little
one.
so Hannah can
That's a
squeeze
girl
in with
too.
you guys. Move back a little, please. We can
that's
make
a
the
girl
circle
too.
a
We
little
got lots
bigger.
of girls.
Are there any boys?
Probably. I think they're all hiding though.
Yeah, they're hiding now. Some
Oh,
inside
they
that
don't
thing.
like it when you take them out when they're hiding.
No, they want to stay in
They
if they're
get
hiding.
mad, huh?
Exactly.
Oh, that one walk fast.
Yep.
Look at that one.
They
Can
kind of
you see
run.
that?
Does anybody have questions about the tortoises? What's your question?
Do they grow any bigger?
Actually, well, this one, the girls like this will get about that big instead, but it takes them a long time.
But how does their shell grow?
Their shell grows kind of like your fingernails, where it's just a little bit at a time. The whole thing grows around in circles, kind of like a tree. So if we all look, this one, you can see it real good on. Can you see the growth rings?
Yeah.
That's each year that the tortoise was growing, he added a new ring to his shell.
What about half? How does the boys grow?
This is about how big a boy would get. We don't get very big
How
at all.
long do they live?
That they think they want to go sleep now. There you go. See the other one? She went and hid in her log.
Oh,
They know when it's time for
that's
bed.
taking up all the room.
All right, let's see here.
You take a
Operate.
Look at this one.
This is called a Mastics. Anybody say that?
You're
Yay! Who's got it? A lot of people stumble over that word. These guys are from Africa again, the top part of Africa. They like it really, really, really hot. What they do is they'll go into rocks and they'll hide in between rocks and they'll stick just their tail out and puff up real big so you can't get them out, and all you can do is grab their tail. What's your question?
You know the other one, how it just looks just like that one.
Yeah?
The one that has a little thing around.
Oh, the frilled dragon?
Yeah.
All right. What's your question?
Does that shed?
Yep. All of these reptiles shed their skin. These guys just shed them in different pieces. Their
They
skin
shed the skin.
So, does everybody want to pet him? We'll see if he'll cooperate. There you go. You can feel him. This guy's all smooth.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah, their
Yeah,
tail
'cause
is
they're
all
scared of
spiky
you,
so
'cause
that
you're
you don't
bigger
hurt
than
them.
them.
They think
So this is one of a bigger ball python. This is what we were holding earlier, but this one's pretty much a grown-up ball python. Anybody want to pet him? No. Nice thing. Yeah, he has a couple stuff shed. Anybody guess what size animal this guy eats? What does he eat?
I think he eats rats.
Yup, he eats rats.
guys seen the snake around?
You're just cheating. You already knew.
Yeah. They're so smooth.
Can everybody see how on the top they've got all the tiny scales, and then on the bottom they've got great big scales to help them hold on so that
Sometimes
they
they
can
wrap around your skin. Sometimes they wrap around your skin. They have little points at the bottom of their tail.
Yep, that's just the very tip of their tail. That's all it is. Did you guys have questions about these?
What's your question?
I think that's the only one.
It's to help them blend in. It's their version of camouflage.
But it's smaller than the
They live a long time. They live 30 years or more.
Hannah, look at me.
Yep. I mean, they're not exactly a. Nope, don't grab her. Don't get her on there. Don't worry. You guys feeling comfortable? All right.
Here, Z, look up.
Don't grab her. I'll get her for you. You'll be just let her crawl up. You don't touch her. Perfect. You guys are doing good. She wrapped around, huh? Oh, don't grab her. Don't grab her. If you're scared, don't worry. I'll get her for you. There you go, guys. I got one. I got one. Perfect. You guys did so good. Oh, I'm sorry. Did she get your head? Perfect. So everybody say goodbye to Carl on the